Last night's episode of Raw started as every episode of Raw starts, with the wrestlers entering the building. We love to see these entrance shots. Oh, you arrived in a car? Oh, you arrived in a limousine? Oh, you have a piece of luggage? Let me see what you got when you get to the arena over here. I think that these shots are a little bit dumb, a little bit silly, and feel a little bit forced. But I do love seeing Sami Zayn in his little Oasis football jersey over here, so that's pretty cool. But normally these kind of shots at the very beginning of the show I find very formulaic and very boring, but they do serve a purpose. They do show you the wrestlers that will be featured on tonight's show, you know? So this is just one way to kind of do it. Alright, yeah, you went from the airport to the Uber to the arena, and here they are right now. Sami Zayn, Becky Lynch, you got the tag team champions and the intercontinental champion over here, some Judgment Day action. Alright, we got some wrestlers on the wrestling show. Very cool, very awesome. I wasn't expecting wrestlers that are signed to this brand to be on the wrestling show that I'm watching tonight. But it's great that they show me them showing up to the building as they do. Oh, look at them getting out here. Oh, the dynamic between the faction. You get to see some backstage stuff over here. If you want to show some backstage stuff over here, start with a vignette. Start with a promo. Start with like a backstage yap segment or whatever. I don't know, dude. These like formulaic arriving to the building shots I find a little bit boring right now, a little bit tiresome, and I think they gotta do something maybe a little bit more creative. And speaking of being creative, they actually kinda did it in this episode. So the Judgment Day show up. Dominic Mysterio, the Intercontinental Champion, has been avoiding seeing the doctor because like he doesn't want to get cleared because he knows that his next challenger is gonna be AJ Styles. So he's trying to duck and dodge AJ Styles. He arrives to the building, yaps with Finn for a bit, hands his keys to the valet, and the valet is none other than AJ Styles. And then AJ Styles is just standing there like, yo, I'm gonna fight you one day, and that day is gonna be soon. Go get yourself cleared. See yourself a doctor. So as little as I like these coming to the arena shots or whatever, when they tie them into a story beat that turns into a episode long through line, I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to appreciate it. So this I enjoy and this I appreciate. But the very first segment on this episode of Raw is one that I have an issue with, okay? I love CM Punk. Let me change the tense of that sentence really quick. I loved CM Punk. This version of CM Punk, people, I am not that big of a fan of. This big corporate babyface CM Punk, not the biggest proponent of this character over here. He gets in the ring and he says the same shit all the time. He's just doing the thing that he criticized back in the day. He's doing the John Cena. He'll go down to the ring, he'll say, hey, town that I'm in, isn't it great to feel alive in the city that we're in right now? Babyface, rah, rah, rah. And this is not CM Punk. This is not how this character is supposed to roll out. Now, I know the dude is like 46 years old, and he's not necessarily gonna be that rebel of the past or whatever. He's out there to make money and win championships, and he's very clear about that. But that being said, that means the ethos of what was once CM Punk is no longer in this man that you see before us here. This is a shell of his former self. But I am the only one criticizing him right now. Everybody else loves CM Punk, and that's great. Good for him. He's a great wrestler who can talk his ass off. But he goes out there, and the way that he panders to the crowd, and the way that he just goes about his corporate babyface promo literally breaks my heart. Now, I have nothing against corporate babyfaces or whatever if it's done right. Cody Rhodes was done right. This CM Punk I find insufferable. Absolutely get off my screen, CM Punk. But I do not foresee a heel turn coming for this guy whatsoever. The next match he has in store, though, is against Gunther, and I do predict that that is going to be a hell of a match. So this beginning part of the promo over here, where CM Punk is just being super insufferable, just being the anti-authoritarian, I'm not into it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not into it, not by a long shot. But when Gunther comes out, the audience responds. They boo this man's face off, and it is great to see these dudes in the ring together. I'm not gonna lie. CM Punk, Gunther, everybody wants to see this match. I want to see this match. The only problem is, in my eyes, Gunther is a babyface because he's all about like the prestige of wrestling. He's all about the sanctity of the wrestling ring. He just wants to come out there and beat people up. And in the process, he's probably gonna have the best match on the entire SummerSlam card. And he's gonna be in there with CM Punk, who can go still at this ripe old age of 46 or whatever he is. I'm just personally not invested into this version of CM Punk's character. The match is still gonna be a banger. This promo was still great to see these guys go back and forth. Their characters are both strong, their talent is immense, and they can talk their faces off. So a couple years ago, if you were like, you know, you're gonna see Gunther and CM Punk in a SummerSlam program, I'd have been so excited about it. And I am technically so excited about it, but this CM Punk character needs a little bit of like, I don't know what it is, a little bit of edge, a little bit of attitude, a little bit of personality, a little bit of the LA Knight Kavorka. I don't know what it is that he needs, but he needs some extra spice to add to the moniker of the name CM Punk. The guy that he's playing right now is not a guy named Punk. It's a guy named like Mr. Business or something. I don't know, dude. And then we cut to the back and we get this interview with Byron Saxton and Stephanie Vaquer. And back in the Vince McMahon days, Stephanie would have had no screen time to talk because her first language is not English. That does not matter, dude. The audience loves Stephanie Vaquer. She has a title shot coming up for the Paris pay-per-view, which is the one that comes after SummerSlam or whatever. But Naomi enters the frame and Naomi is on fire right now. She is so funny. She comes in, she's like, Stephanie Vaquer, or however you say it. I can't play the promo, copyright, yada, 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 but this segment back here, incredible. This match would be amazing, very tantalizing, and literally, Stephanie Vaquer over here is going to be main eventing WrestleMania 1 year very shortly. Even though she just hit the roster, brand new to the scene, it is clear that this is a future world famous superstar. Now, to talk about this El Grande Americano situation is to talk about controversy. It's to talk about stuff that is very polarizing out there. You either love this thing, think it's so funny, or you might think it's the most offensive, xenophobic, maybe even kind of racist character out there. And it's hard to see where the company's coming from with this El Grande Americano thing, but with Triple H's leanings towards RFK and them being very right-wing right now and very public with that, it's hard for me to enjoy this character, but the story that's taking place on the screen with this character is pretty good, not gonna lie. If you're not familiar, which you're on a wrestling channel, you're very familiar. Chad Gable was the one playing El Grande Americano, but he denied playing El Grande Americano. In Chad Gable's mind, there were two different wrestlers. Chad Gable gets hurt, so where did El Grande Americano go? They must be the same person. Nuh-uh-uh. Here comes another El Grande Americano who's like 2 feet taller than Chad Gable, who speaks in a particularly, I don't know, German accent. But now it looks like we have a new person playing El Grande Americano, and it's Ludwig Kaiser. And one of the things I hate about this gimmick and about this whole character is Ludwig Kaiser is a good wrestler. Chad Gable, a great professional wrestler. But neither of those gentlemen can get a win to save their lives. They have to put on this vaguely offensive gimmick just to get a W. Dragon Lee enters the shot and says basically that same thing. He's like, you're disrespecting the culture, blah, 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 blah. They have a little tussle, they have a little fight, cuts back to ringside, where they're promoting the new show, WWE Unreal, where it's like a behind the scenes thing, which I think is gonna be just a work as well. They're gonna work it like it's not a work, but it will be a work. So Trick Williams is gonna have a face-off with The Undertaker or whatever, but this guy is not as good as he looks. I know he looks like $1 million. I know this guy looks like a star, and believe me, he comes across like one as well, up until he gets in the ring. He's not a championship level in-ring competitor, almost not by a long shot. But because of how big he is, like physically, he's like WWE size, because of how like good looking he is, and because of how well he can talk and how cool he is, it makes up for how bad he is in the ring. But once that in-ring thing clicks, this guy, my God, there would be no ceiling for a guy like that. Adam Pearce is shown here encouraging Dom to go to the doctor. You gotta defend that belt, buddy. I'm too busy, he says. I got things to do. Living what's-her-face or doing the what's-in thing, and I can't do the thing. I'm gonna be busy doing the helping. I can't do the thing, blah, blah, blah. Then he backs up into a custodian, and that custodian, that janitor or whatever, is AJ Styles. The Dominic stuff is great. The tag division stuff is awesome. The women's division stuff is firing. AJ Styles in all those outfits, even this one here where you'll see him come in as the medical personnel, This is very entertaining stuff. But I want stuff I don't like CM Punk. But unfortunately, all this stuff is enjoyable. But I want to talk about something I don't like. And this is going to be another controversial take. We got Roman Reigns. He was set to confront Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins' group over here, who is still yet to be named after being a group for like 15 months already. Still no name. Okay, cool, whatever. But anyway, Roman Reigns is coming out here to address them. And that's all fine and dandy. I like all of this. There's a lot of history, a lot of bloodline stuff to get into. It feels personal, it feels real, it feels great. And here's where it gets controversial for me. Bron Breakker. I do not see it, people. Yes, he has a great spear, but that is it as far as I'm concerned. I still think that Bron Breakker comes across like such a young boy, like he is learning on the job. He's just shadowing these guys, being like, okay, so this is what you do in these segments. Okay, so this is what you do here. All right, great. But anyway, Paul and Roman go back and forth for the first little bit of this. Paul's like, you should come here and lead this new group with me. And then Roman's like, you're not the wise guy anymore. I'm not gonna lead a group with you, da-da-da-da-da. They go on the thing. Oh, but I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Blah, 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 blah. The whole time, Bron Breakker's like, I'm gonna fight him. Every time that Roman Reigns calls Paul Heyman a dumbass, Bron Breakker's like, I'm gonna fight him. Bark, bark, bark. Woof, woof, woof. And to me, dudes, I don't know. It comes across as so forced and so corny. Now, I know everybody sees Bron Breakker as a future main eventer. Like, in 2 years, he's probably gonna be main eventing WrestleMania. He's in there with Roman Reigns right now going toe-to-toe, nose-to-nose. I literally don't see it. But all of that comes into focus here, where Bron Breakker takes center stage, asks for the microphone. Oh, it's like, oh, you're gonna cut a little bit of a promo. Are you, Bron Breakker? But he does not come across as intimidating. He does not come across as scary. We're just gonna listen to his first words, and I hope I don't get copyright claimed.
Listen to me, Roman. Get this through your thick skull.
He does not come across like he has a lot of confidence. Get this through your thick skull. But the audience responds. The audience are booing. There is heat here. I can't deny that. I just personally don't see it. There are kernels of it. If he just leaned 100% into that Scott Steiner thing, then we might have something here. He's halfway there, but I do not see it, and I don't know if he's ever gonna have it. But I think they're gonna do with Bron Breakker what they did with Roman Reigns, and that is force him down our throats. Year after year, after this year, it's just gonna be like, Bron Breakker this, Bron Breakker that, Bron Breakker in this match. Oh, you can't destroy Bron Breakker. Oh, did you see Bron Breakker's spear? He's got the best spear in the history of spears. And I'm gonna get so fucking sick of it so fucking quick, because I am already there. I already like Bronson Reed 1,000 times more than I like Bron Breakker. If these roles were just switched up a little bit, I'd be down with that. But Bronson Reed is like, I don't know, 40 years old. Bron Breakker's only like 20 something. I understand why it's arranged in this fashion. It's just literally he's not ready for the main event spot right now. Give him some US title work. Give him some time with the Intercontinental Championship. Put him in a tag team with Bronson Reed over there. Get some reps out there with other kinds of gold. And then maybe you can tangle it up with guys like Roman Reigns. But to me, scenes like this just feel so unbalanced, mismatched, and miscast. Of course, it wasn't gonna go off the air without everything breaking down. Roman Reigns turning around and getting frame by frame drilled with the next spear to be spearing every main event into oblivion. Oh, we just had the master of the spear for the last 5 to 10 years just get speared by the spear of the future. Bro, this is so boring. We're really gonna go from a top guy that had a spear as a finisher to another top guy who has a spear as a finisher? Fuck all of this. Fuck this bullshit. I am not down. And then to close the show, we just got the wrestle guys doing the wrestle stuff to the other wrestle guy. Until this other wrestle guy came down, who everybody is now so into. This is Jey Uso. You know Jey Uso, right? 4 letters, 1 word, yeet, or whatever. So he comes down to make the save, and you're like, oh, is this gonna be a tag match? This could be a tag match. This is probably gonna be SummerSlam, if I'm telling you the truth. You're probably gonna put Roman Reigns and Jey Uso together and put them up against Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker. Bron and Bronson. Which on the excitometer, I'd say I'm about a 4 or 5. I like that Jey is over. I like that Jey is eating well right now. But all of these like boring ass gimmicks, boring ass movesets at the top of the card, it is just WWE. The top of the card of WWE has normally been this boring. John Cena, boring. Triple H, boring. Randy Orton, boring. Batista, boring as fuck. And I hate to say it, even the Bloodline main events, even though they were all the same, they were not boring. But it looks like we're just back to corporate WWE. Everything is the same, boring ass stuff that Jacob Fatu is going to be slotted into very shortly. Jacob Fatu is going to go from being the biggest badass on all of these shows to being the most corporate washed out one of them all. Jacob Fatu is going to be a huge bag of money that is nothing but catchphrases. Get in where you fit in. All gas, no brakes. Yarramin! That's all you're gonna get. Which is a shame, because he is so good. But overall, Raw was pretty good, not gonna lie. Okay, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.
I'm Mr. King Dice. I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice. I'm the devil's right-hand man.